Dustin?
It is.
What was your name? Just
Amy
welcome.
Wilson.
Amy? Okay, you'll go after Cody.
Okay, thank you.
And then I do have a timer, but just in case I forget, if you could just give me a 1 minute at the 6 minute mark. That would be awesome. Just so you guys know, I'm Dustin Phelps. I know a man named John who was an alcoholic for decades. For many years, his alcoholism caused himself and his family immense pain and suffering. For many long years, he tried to overcome his addiction, but never succeeded. One night, however, John was wandering drunk and was hit by a car. The accident almost killed him, and it was because of that he realized that if he did not stop drinking, he would die. And it was from that moment that John never drank again. It's interesting to me that he tried to be sober for so many years, but never succeeded until he experienced a fundamental shift in paradigm. In much the same way, there is a maxim that we all believe in, that we all want to live by, but as hard as we try, we seem to fail so often. The maxim is characterized by the two statements, do to others as you would have them do to you, and love others even as you love yourself. This is a principle that transcends culture, creed, and religion because it rings true in every human heart. There is something that communicates to the human soul, live by this maxim, and not only will you be happy, but you will bring happiness to others. And yet, as John, we know what we want to do and be, but we find it so difficult to love others as we love ourselves, and to do so as often as we would like. Tonight it is my purpose to help the audience through a paradigm shift, one that I hope will fundamentally and forever change not just the way that you think, but the way that you live and the rewards you reap as a result. I will first discuss what needs to change about the way that we currently think, why it needs to change, and then how. Just as John was addicted to alcohol, we too have an unnatural preoccupation. We have a culturally conditioned obsession with difference. It is something that has become so ingrained in who we are that we're not even aware of it. But when we pass by people on the road or at the grocery store or at school, we don't so much see a person as we do what makes that person different from us. Now this may come as a shock to some of you, and because of that I challenge you, the next time you go to a grocery store, evaluate yourself, and you will see that you have a tendency to not see a human being, but to see a Mexican, or an Asian, or a Muslim, or someone of high socioeconomic status, or someone of low socioeconomic status. Someone that can be termed as a nerd, or someone that can be termed as a hick. This paradigm of difference disconnects us from the commonality that we all share, which is our humanity. The problem with seeing people in terms of how they are different from us is that when we have come to the conclusion that someone is different from us, we have a natural inclination to feel that we can't identify with that person, that we don't relate with that person, that their experiences are not our experiences, that their pain is not our pain. And when we have come to the conclusion that we can't understand that person, we naturally mistrust their motives, their actions, their intentions, and mistrust always leads to resentment, animosity, and polarization. We all understand the difference between the cup half full paradigm and the cup half empty paradigm. But let's imagine that there was a cup that was 95% full, right? What would we say then? I think most of us would agree that we could term the cup mostly full. But what if someone came along and saw the cup, it was 95% full, and said, when asked about the cup, well, I'd say it's partly empty. I think that we would all find that to be absurd. But I submit to you tonight that it is just as ridiculous that we care so much about what makes us different, when in reality, we are at least 95% similar with every other human being on this planet. Now, anyone in this room who has been duped by the difference obsession is probably thinking, as I have thought in the past, 95% similar, more like 95% different. And to that I submit a fascinating experience that I had last weekend with an extraordinary girl I know. We went and we had dinner with a homeless man. And we got to know him for an hour, and To everyone else, Bruce may be completely different from me. Socioeconomically, we're very different. Racially, we're different. Religious views, political views are different. The way that we live our lives, completely different. But when it comes down to it, that makes up the 5%. Because Bruce and I, we're both human beings. We both have legs and arms and eyes. We both experience the world through 5 senses. We both have hopes and dreams. We both want to be happy. We love our family. We both feel pain, physical and emotional, in the same way. The truth is, we're more the same than we are different. If there is one thing that unites us all above all others, it is that we all want to be happy. And beyond that, when it comes down to it, we are all Homo sapiens. Enough said, we are all the same. Let us put aside our petty differences, our superficial differences, so that we can stop trying to preempt each other and begin to progress together and united. If there is one thing that I know, it is that if you want to be happy, you have to learn to love others. And in order to love others, you have to learn to celebrate similarity. Thank you.
Thank you. 551. Is that what you had? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next is